Good morning and welcome to Rose Red Homestead, where today Jim and I are going to be starting a series of 5 different videos where we feature a different piece of equipment and cook 3 off-grid meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we are starting off this series with using a Dutch oven for 3 meals. So we'll spend very few minutes on each of the 3 meals because we like to keep our videos at about 20 minutes. And so that means only like 5 or 6 minutes a piece for the meals. This series is more about the equipment and the versatility that you have available to you if you choose to use one of these pieces of equipment as part of your off-grid cooking. We expect that you will have recipes of your own that you may want to use. So for breakfast today, and we won't be doing the videoing all on the same day, so you'll see us in different clothing, and in fact Jim is going to be doing some of the segments too, which I'm very excited about. I am using a 10-inch Lodge Dutch oven. It is one with legs. I have lined it with a piece of parchment paper. This bread is in our new bread book. It is the bread that is half white, half wheat, and the wheat is kamut. And as you see, I'm just breaking, and I have 4 slices. I'm just breaking this bread into chunks, about between 1 and 2 inch chunks. So here's what it looks like when it's done. And here is the custard that I'm going to use. And it's just one of my standard custard recipes. It has milk in it, it has eggs in it, it has a little bit of vanilla and sugar, cinnamon, and I'm pouring it over the bread. And you can use whatever your favorite recipe is. Oh, the cinnamon sunk to the bottom, so I have some cinnamon on the top. And I'm just going to toss these a little bit. Looks like there's some down at the bottom, liquid at the bottom. So we want that absorbed. And all of that will be absorbed by the bread. It may just take most of the cooking time to do it. And then I have some blueberries, and I'm just going to put in a couple of handfuls of blueberries. And I'm going to carefully kind of stir those in. Just mix them in a little bit so they're not all on the top. Going to put the cover on. And Jim has some charcoal out there all started. We are going to put 7 pieces of charcoal on the bottom, 14 on the top, and we're hoping to get it up to 350 degrees where it will bake for, between 20 and 30 minutes. So we're headed out there right now, and we'll show you after we get it set up. I'm sticking the thermometer to the back right here where we can read it easily. This will go inside in a moment. I have the 7 pieces of charcoal arranged to where they fit right underneath. And I am going to lift the lid and just put this thermometer inside so we can monitor the temperature in there. Then I'm going to take this charcoal that Jim has worked out for us, and I'm just going to dump it right there. And put these 14 up on the top. Done, and we're going to let it bake until it's done. So we'll be back when we are ready to take it out of the Dutch oven. Here it is, all finished. It took about 40 minutes. It's crispy on the top, it's soft in the middle. The blueberries are done, and they've popped and lent their juices to the mix. I would like to tell you that the temperature did get up to 350, but it did not. When you put a Dutch oven over coals without first preheating it, it's hard when it's full of food to get it up to that temperature. Didn't need to be to that temperature. It got up to 216 degrees, and as you can see, it did just fine. And we did add a few more coals as well, which we generally have to do when working with the coals. I'm just going to put a serving on each of these plates, and Jim and I are now going to have our breakfast. Ooh, blueberry goodness. It is crispy on the bottom. It's done just right, said Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, I'm going to quickly add some butter to mine. This is actually ghee. Oh, it smells heavenly. And I'm going to put some maple syrup on. This is from Costco's maple syrup. And let me just get a little bite right here. That is so good. Perfect breakfast meal. Now, on to lunch with Jim.
This is the second of the Dutch oven meals that we were going to do and show. And what we're going to do is we're going to do beans and wieners, or hot dogs and beans, however you want to say it.
My kids called it beanie weenies.
Ah, okay, fantastic. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pull this open. We've got the temperature at 375. And the first thing we're going to do is put in the bacon, warm it up. We've used bacon that is already cooked. What I want to do is put it in, warm it up some. I'm going to put a little bit of bacon grease in. And we'll be using the bacon grease in a little bit. So the bacon is warmed up. We just leave the bacon grease in, and we end up doing the onion. They cook until they're translucent. All right, I'm checking the hot dogs, the wieners, and they're starting to brown up a little bit.
They look good.
They look good. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it in, and we'll let it cook according to the recipe for 25 minutes. Come back and see what it looks like. This would really be nice for something like the 4th of July or Memorial Day. And we're supposed to let this sit for the next 25 minutes. Come back out, open it up, and see what it looks like. I just stirred the Franks and beans, or wieners and beans, or whatever it's going to be called. And let's open it up again real quick and see what it looks like.
Ooh.
And lots of hot dogs, wieners,
Oh,
and the beans.
Great.
Smells good.
Yes.
And I will go ahead and take it inside. And that's what it looks like. And it looks real good, I think. And one of the things that we were talking about a few minutes ago, people end up doing all kinds of things with their particular beans and wieners, wieners and Franks, or wieners and beans, however you want to call it. And you end up making whatever type of recipe you want. This is the one that we made today, and we're hoping it'll taste good. So I just took my gloves off. We're ready for lunch, and we'll go ahead and dish it up.
That's plenty for me.
Plenty for you? And we'll start off with this and kind of go from there. So let's see what this tastes like. So hopefully it tastes good. And this is my first time doing this kind of thing. Not even did I do this with my daughter when I had custody of her a long time ago. It's kind of sweet. The beans are soft, obviously. The L&P Worcestershire sauce is very apparent. The onion flavor is kind of nice. And I'll have one of the hot dogs. It's hot through and through. So it was good, it was enjoyable, and we'll enjoy having the beans and franks. So next up for dinner is stuffed peppers.
We are doing our third meal on the Dutch oven today, and Jim and I are going to tag team. We're both going to have a part in this, so we're trading off on our little GoPro camera. So what we are going to do today is we're going to have stuffed bell peppers, and here they are. One of the things to watch for when you are selecting bell peppers is that they have a sturdy base. We have 3 with a sturdy base and 1 with a pointy base, and I fixed it with toothpicks so that it would stand up nice. What we have done here is chop up the tops into small pieces, added onions and garlic. Jim is going to be cooking this out in the 10-inch Dutch oven. I'm also going to be mixing the meat, freeze-dried hot Italian sausage, raw, freeze-dried raw hamburger that we have had for over a year out in our food storage. I am rehydrating the meat. It has been in the refrigerator overnight, and it has taken that long to get this meat soft. So I'm going to let it drain. There's a hamburger, there's a sausage, another sausage. I broke the hamburger so that it could rehydrate quicker. And a sausage, and a hamburger. So we're going to let those drain for just a bit. Then I'm going to break those up into this bowl with some spices. I have some oregano and some basil in here, along with a few little hot peppers and some salt and pepper. And then we're going to, once Jim has cooked these, I will bring the meat mixture out, and he'll cook the meat mixture as well. We'll bring that in the house, stuff the peppers, and at that point in time, we're going to switch over to a 12-inch Dutch oven, and we will use a sling to lower these into the Dutch oven to finish off their cooking. So that's where we are right now, and we'll head out now so Jim can start on the veggies.
The temperature for the Dutch oven is currently 268. I'm going to go ahead and lift the lid off. We've got some oil in it, and I'm going to go and put the veggies in. Stir them around. Put the lid over the top. Let it sit for a little bit, and we'll get back to this in just a few minutes. Okay, we'll see what the veggies look like. They're getting there slowly. Put it back on. And we've got more coal going in our chimney. I put that on a few minutes ago. Cover it back up and kind of go from there.
All right, the meat is done. Jim did a great job cooking that. I think we're going to have plenty of meat. I have some leftover quinoa that I'm just going to take a couple of spoonfuls and put in here for some extra protein. And some Parmesan Romano cheese for some extra flavor. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is smelling wonderful.
Looks good.
Next up is I'm going to be filling these peppers. And Jim is going to go outside and get the 12-inch going. So we'll continue in just a few minutes. Here are the peppers. They are completely stuffed. We had hardly anything left over. So I have the sling around the pan and we're headed out and we will be putting them in the 12-inch. Now, you do not have to necessarily cook your stuffed peppers in a separate pan, but this is a guard against burning because sometimes things in a Dutch oven do get a little extra crispy. So we have it elevated on a rack and then on this pan, and we'll head out there right now.
Okay.
Here he goes.
Okay, here we are. Oops, hold it. Okay, that's it at this point. Let me see what the temperature is. It's 180. Okay, it looks like it may be about 40 to 45 minutes. And since that's the case, I'll have to start another chimney of charcoal and fill in where the charcoal goes out so we can keep it going.
Jim just brought these in from the Dutch oven. Now they got a little bit dark on the top, maybe too many charcoal on that lid, but we are still learning ourselves. So I'm going to move one of these over to each of these plates. I'm going to take the red one because it's a little bit smaller. And it's probably going to fall over. And these two we will put in the refrigerator and keep for another meal. Let's see. Oh, there it went. Let's see how it has turned out. Boy, it sure smells good. The pepper is tender and done. And how long did we have them out there, Jim? Probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes?
Closer to 45, I think.
45 minutes.
It was touch and go.
Yes, well, we're learning still. Filling is really good. The bite of pepper is just perfect. It's done. It needs more salt. That's the only thing that I can say. This recipe was just off the top of my head. You saw that I was just throwing things together. So there are lots of recipes for the filling for peppers that we can all find online, or maybe you already have one that's a favorite of yours. So we're going to go ahead and enjoy this last of our demonstration meals on learning how to cook different types of meals in a Dutch oven. We hope this is useful for you and that it will encourage you to try some versatility in your outdoor cooking, your off-grid cooking with a Dutch oven. So thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you very soon.